Hello and welcome to Experimental Gameology. Today I'm going to show you how to make super easy fantasy paper minis using only a word processor and normal paper and a stapler. So I'm using LibreOffice, but you could use any word processor. So first of all, insert a table, and you want there to be 7 columns and 10 rows, and this will produce minis which have an inch square base and are about 1.5 inches tall. So the rows need to be of different sizes. The first row, which will be the base, needs to be 4 lines long. I've put the carriage returns here so you can see clearly. The next line will be the front of the bottom of the mini. It needs 2. The next 2 will be for the picture. We'll come back to them later. The back flap also needs 2, and then we're going to start on another row of minis. So we need 4, 2. Leave some rows for the pictures and 2 at the back. So the next task is to insert our pictures. So I'll do that, as I said, in this first line of 1. So I insert image, and I'm going to put this elf, which I got from Pixabay, so it's in the public domain. Now we need to do 3 things here. The first of all is to go to the anchor and anchor it as character, and this will get rid of that trailing carriage return at the end. The second thing we need to do is rotate or flip. So we rotate 180 degrees. And the last thing we need to do, and we don't always have to do this, but we do in this case, is make sure it's only 1.5 inches tall, otherwise they won't fit on the paper. So we're going to go to 1.5, keep ratio, OK. Alright, so now we're going to take this elf and we're going to copy her across to the rest of the cells here. And then we're going to do a similar thing here to get the elf the right way up. So insert an image, and then go to anchor, lock anchor as character, and then we're going to resize, keep ratio, and resize down to 150. Alright, and then we'll also copy her across to the other cells. Alright, now, as I said, there's going to be 2 rows on this one sheet, so we'll take all of those and we'll copy them down to the 2 single lines here. Alright, now actually, if all you want is paper minis, that would be enough. All you'd have to do is to get rid of this trailing line at the top, and then you've got just plain fantasy paper minis. I want to play Chainmail with these. You can watch my other videos about Chainmail. So I'm going to add a bit more. First of all, I need facing. So this is going to be this row here is going to be the front. So I want to put in an arrow or a triangle to show facing. So on Linux, what you do is you do Control-Shift-U for Unicode, and an up pointing black triangle is Unicode 25B2. So I'll insert that, and I'll copy that across to all the other rows. And I'll also put it in front of the other ones here. Now everyone's screaming at their screen that looks terrible because it's on the left-hand side. So what I'm going to do now is actually center everything, and as the elves are also anchored as characters, they will also move into the middle, which will look nicer. Okay, so for Chainmail as well, I want a few stats on the bottom. So I'm going to put their type, and I'm going to put their point value. So if we're playing a game where point value is important for victory, we can keep track of that. But again, you could put anything really on the bottom that you fancy. Now, I said 4 carriage returns here. 4 carriage returns is okay, a little bit fiddly when you're stapling. And in fact, all we can do for these elves, they're so tall. If you have the space, you can do 5 carriage returns. That also works. But it does make the square then a little bit bigger than 1 inch. Okay, so we're going to copy this across now to here. Alright. And lastly then, on these tabs under the elves, this is going to be at the back in fact, I want to put some more game statistics. So in this case I'm going to put their move is 12 inches, and they have no charge, no flying, but they have 18-inch range. So and they fight as heavy foot, they defend as heavy foot, and their morale value is 6. So it depends what game you're playing, but you can put some little stats down here, which might help you then when you play, just to not have to look up the rules. Okay, so I'm going to do that, but it's completely optional. If you just want fancy minis, you can actually stop just at putting the pictures in. All right, so now the minis are ready in terms of the contact sheet, and I'm going to show you how to assemble them. Okay, so you just fold along, you score the lines, fold along the top, fold the little things at the bottom out, fold the bottom one across both pieces of both tabs, and then just staple it. I'm doing it pretty roughly here because I'm doing it in front of the camera, but I tried to do it more neatly. But as you can see, it stands up really nicely. The staple weighs it down, and actually it's pretty sturdy, it doesn't fall over. Okay, so that's it. That's how to make some very easy paper minis. You can print them out on normal paper. Obviously, if you print them out in color, they'll look better. If you print them out on cardstock, they'll be more sturdy. But this is a very quick way if all you have is normal paper and a stapler. You don't want to use glue, to make some nice looking sturdy minis for your fantasy war game or for your role-playing game. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and let me know if you'd like content like this in the future.